What if I told you that the most significant threats to your business are not on your balance sheet? That real risk, real opportunity, lies in things like culture and ethics. In today's boardrooms, traditional governance is no longer enough. The rules have changed, and so have the expectations from regulators, investors, and society. In this video, we'll explore how corporate governance is evolving, from financial oversight to purposeful leadership, and why the boards of the future must go far beyond the numbers to deliver value truly. For decades, corporate governance was seen largely through the lens of financial oversight. Boards are gatekeepers of compliance, risk, and performance, roles defined by their ability to interpret the numbers laid out in the balance sheet or statement of comprehensive financial position. Today, however, those numbers tell only part of the story. The real pulse of an organization lies beyond the financials, in its culture, purpose, relationships, and resilience. As expectations from investors, regulators, and society have evolved, so too has the scope of corporate governance. We are witnessing a profound shift that demands directors move beyond accounting ratios and earnings calls to embrace a more dynamic, holistic understanding of how value is created, protected, and sustained. Boards are no longer just stewards of shareholder capital. They are custodians of long-term corporate purpose. Their responsibility now extends to ensuring that the organization navigates complex social, environmental, and technological challenges while maintaining its ethical compass. Modern boards must grapple with questions that never appeared on traditional agendas. Are we creating value for all stakeholders, not just shareholders? How are we managing reputational and cultural risks? Is our leadership aligned with our stated values? This shift necessitates a fundamental reevaluation of board composition and capabilities. Expertise in finance and law is no longer a sufficient factor. Boards now need directors who understand digital disruption, climate change, social equity, and emerging geopolitical dynamics. The 20th century model of corporate governance prioritized shareholders above all else. That doctrine, fueled by Milton Friedman's assertion that the social responsibility of business is to increase profits, dominated boardroom thinking for generations. But the world has changed. Today's consumers, employees, and investors expect companies to take a stand on environmental issues, diversity, human rights, and ethical supply chains. Stakeholder governance, once dismissed as idealistic, is now seen as essential for sustainable success. This is not about abandoning profit. It is about recognizing that profit and purpose can and should coexist. Organizations that neglect their broader responsibilities risk losing their license to operate. One of the most elusive yet critical aspects of modern governance is organizational culture. Culture shapes behavior, influences decision-making, and determines how companies respond under pressure. And yet, it often receives only superficial attention from boards. Failures at major institutions were not due to flawed business models, but rather to toxic cultures that tolerated misconduct, stifled dissent, or rewarded short-term thinking. Governance, therefore, must go deeper. It must ask, what behaviors are we rewarding? How do we respond to ethical concerns? Are our stated values truly embedded in day-to-day decisions? Board members must become more attuned to the organization's mood music, those informal cues, stories, and rituals that shape behavior at all levels. Environmental, social, and governance, ESG considerations, have catapulted to the top of the board agenda. This is not merely a compliance exercise, it is a strategic imperative. Investors are demanding greater transparency and accountability around climate risk, labor practices, and diversity metrics. Governments are introducing stricter regulations, and employees are increasingly choosing to work for companies that align with their personal values. Boards must now understand ESG risks and opportunities, ensure meaningful disclosures, and integrate sustainability into the company's core strategy. This requires a clear governance structure, reliable data, and ongoing board education. The digital age presents enormous opportunities, but also unprecedented risks. Cyber attacks, data breaches, and AI failures can erode trust faster than any financial loss. Boards must ensure that digital oversight is not siloed, but is instead embedded into their governance frameworks. Ensuring cyber risk is treated as a business risk, not just an IT issue. Overseeing the ethical use of emerging technologies like AI, guiding digital transformation efforts while safeguarding privacy and trust. Many boards are still playing catch-up, relying on outdated models that do not reflect the speed and complexity of digital disruption. The gap must be closed, and fast. Diversity of gender, race, experience, age, and thought is not just a social goal, it's a governance strength. Homogeneous boards are prone to groupthink and blind spots. Diverse boards are better equipped to challenge assumptions, understand a broader range of stakeholders, and make better decisions. Progress is being made, but slowly. Real inclusion means not just ticking boxes, but reshaping recruitment, mentoring, and succession planning to ensure all voices are heard and valued. Boards must move away from a narrow definition of performance based solely on results. Forward-looking governance frameworks assess performance across a range of dimensions, including customer trust, employee engagement, innovation, resilience, and social impact. This broader lens of performance is more aligned with long-term value creation. It also requires better tools, including the integration of reporting, balanced scorecards, and impact measurement models that can capture both tangible and intangible assets. To stay relevant, boards must act decisively. This means revisiting board charters to reflect expanded responsibilities, embedding ESG into board strategy sessions, not just sustainability committees, holding management accountable for maintaining cultural health and promoting ethical conduct, investing in board education to build expertise in emerging risks and trends, improving stakeholder engagement, including mechanisms for listening to employees, communities, and regulators. Looking ahead, the future of governance will be defined not by rigid codes, but by principles of adaptability, integrity, and foresight. Boards that cling to yesterday's playbook will struggle to keep up with today's complexities. Those who lean in, ask better questions, and embrace the full spectrum of corporate responsibility will not only survive, but they will also lead. We are firmly in an era where governance is not simply a function of oversight, but of insight. Beyond the balance sheet lies the real work of governance, shaping behavior, stewarding purpose, and guiding organizations through uncertainty with courage and clarity. If you found this discussion valuable and want to stay ahead in leadership, governance, and strategy, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join the conversation in the comments below. See you in the next video.